Global change is on the move, and South is where it's all happening. This is a Global Southing, a must listen podcast putting the spotlight on powerful stories, bold innovations, and untold leadership from the Global South, all reshaping our shared future.
You are listening to Global Southing Podcast.
Picture this. Bollywood movies are viewed in the whole Arab world, not only in communities but also in villages. Turkish cuisine is tested in Latin America and in East Asia. Or maybe Mandarin language is taught in Confucius Institute, not only in the global south, but in the rest of the world. So we have to ask a few questions here. How can we sustain the influence of soft power within the global south and maybe enhance the collaboration in this regard? To answer these questions, joining us today in this episode, Dr. Shaojin Chai, coordinator at Educators Without Borders International. So we are very delighted to have him here. Dr. Chai, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation.
My pleasure.
So, as we introduced in the beginning of the episode, today we will be discussing the soft power, but from the perspective of the global south to the rest of the world. Thinking of the very essential conceptualization of soft power, it started with Joseph Nye in the 90s, but now we find it also applicable for the 21st century. So, how do you find it relevant to us today?
It is very relevant because we are entering a new era of multipolarity where many powers, not only just traditional great powers from global south are determining or dominating the discourse of globalization or global order, but also actors and players from global south. These new rising powers like China, Brazil, India, South Africa, and others are also entering discourse and entering deciding and debating about global order and future. In particular, as you said, the soft power is also entering our scene from global south players. It will be very interesting to see how global south players can contribute to soft power in our era.
But thinking of the population, the world population, 85% of the world population is located in the global south, according to UN 2023. And so, I mean, this is a huge power that we have in the global south, especially, I mean, the very basic aim of the soft power is to enhance our influence and attraction. So can we redefine the soft power, I mean, from the global south, or we are still sticking to the very classic way of it?
Definitely, by bringing global south into soft power discussion, we can reconceptualize and redefine soft power. Soft power is attraction and not coercion. So it's not depending on the size or military might or economic strength of certain countries. It's defined more by how culture, how ideas, institutions, values are attractive to others without using coercion or without using economic payment. So this is where global south fit very well, because global south, if they enter the discourse of soft power, it would be evident and demonstrable that their values, their ideas, institutions, cultures will have attractive, naturally, let's say, without the military or economic side, which always we see related with the global north countries. That's why people got confused. Is it global, like a soft power, really soft, or is it related to the strong or the strength, might of those power? So by bringing global south, we get a genuine soft power concept, more genuine understanding. That's, I think, it's really important to bring them in.
Based on what you just said, that I mean, there's sort of uniqueness in the values and the culture that we have from the global south to the rest of the world. And so this will definitely open a new chapter for soft power. But thinking of the strategies also of implementing the soft power, do you find it the same? What distinction we are bringing to the world?
Yes, see, uh, in the past, we talked about more like a globalization of a soft power of certain countries, talking about like Americanization, Westernization, etc. etc. This often brought the things like very flattening, homogenization, everything look the same, all McDonald's, all,
Yes.
Hollywood. So it's kind of boring after a long time. But I think Global South bring a new, unique, and a genuine, authentic perspective from the local cultures, from the East, from the South. And thanks to the internet technology, communication technology, and globalization of transportation, all these things, global South countries now they can leverage this technology and more other easy of transportation and communication to make their soft power known better, and spread further. So this is like a new strategy I think they are doing, and not only they are differentiating them from the West, from the traditional soft power discourse or institutions, but they are using new strategies, new media, new technologies to leverage their soft power. This is a very good strategy for them.
Interesting. Besides the technology and, as you said, media, what about the cultural asset here? Is it can we rely on the cultural asset in the global south to enhance our influence and attraction?
Yeah, as I said, global South cultures can really enrich and authenticate, make our global culture more authentic and more organic and more genuine and more connected to the local populations, which is, as you said, like a majority of the world. Their cultures, they can have all kinds of strategies or methods to spread them, like culture diplomacy, culture industry, creative economy, and in fact, we've seen many successful stories, like China's Confucius Institute,
True.
Indians Bollywood, and Nollywood from Nigeria, and some other Arab countries like Dubai being a culture hub, bring all the cultures together, north, south, east, and west. So all this makes a new kind of like we call it fusion, culture fusion, or culture mixed, and create something new, which we do not see in the West or East. Something new here, like in Dubai or in some like a melting pot places.
Taking the example of Confucius Institute, actually, I studied in the Confucius Institute. So, woman شو خيو.
Yeah.
I mean, in this conversation, in this podcast, you are Chinese, coming from the Arab world as Emirati, but we can speak Chinese, we can speak Mandarin. So, can we reinterpret the model of the Confucius Institute, maybe with other institutes of other languages, maybe Swahili, the Arabic language, let's say let's say the Russian language as well. So can we reapply the same model in other parts of the global south?
We can reapply, but we need to reconfigure, maybe do some reorganizing of how this kind of language centers, language programs run in Global South or from Global South. For China, the Confucius Institute mostly is funded by the state and joined by private universities and foreign partners. So this kind of a public-private foreign tri-party model worked very well, at least in some part of the country, especially in global South countries, where they don't have much of a controversy about ideology or human rights, but more focus on cultural understanding, more focus on the teaching language for career opportunities, for practical business usage. I think this model is very successful in global South. I think the aspiration you mentioned, some other global South cultures or countries, they want to promote their soft power by doing a language program like Swahili thing. I know Swahili is already widespread, wide spoken language, across many countries. They have rich cultures and they have rich, uh, rich applications or usage, in many business or social environment. I think if these countries can bring like a highlight both their aesthetic, the culture and beauty of those language, but also a practical element of their language, it will become very active for countries, to want to learn or know their languages. For example, if they want to go do business in those countries, in Swahili-speaking countries, and in fact, I know many Chinese companies and personnel, when they based in those countries, they learn Swahili, they attend
Yes.
classes. So because they have to deal with them culturally and socially and have better understanding. Actually, this culture aspect, language aspect, save them more money than they invest in other aspects. So it has a
Interesting.
practical use. Yeah.
Thinking of the film industry here, I mean, Nollywood, Bollywood, for example, Nollywood is the second largest film industry, by output in the world. Maybe my generation learned Turkish from the Turkish movies and series. The upcoming generation already, my nieces are learning Korean from the Korean also movies and Korean songs. So to what extent you will find there might be some impact when it comes to affecting also the regional identity, because we might be also affected by other values from other parts of the global south.
So regional identity, you mean this region, Middle East, or the different regions in the
Different
world?
regions.
Yeah.
So, people in the Middle East are watching Bollywood, or let's say people in Latin America are watching Nollywood. To what extent that you think that this will affect their identity as well?
Yeah, first of all, this film industry coming from global south countries, they basically enrich, diversify our understanding. Like even purely as entertainment or culture consumption, you get more choices. You are not always eating McDonald's, or you are not always
Definitely.
watching Hollywood, but you now got new options. So this is something make us people in different regions, including here, appreciate diversity and pluralism of the world. So, secondly, yes, it will not really affect, define who we are. I'm Chinese, I will remain Chinese. But I'm a Chinese, I appreciating African cultures. I have a better understanding of African people and society through Nollywood movies. So this will define our culture taste, our culture understanding of the world. So make us a better person, more tolerant person,
True.
which not just living in your own small cells, your own culture shell. So in that sense, yes, it defines our culture, make us define our identity, make us more like a global citizen, a cosmopolitan personality. We get not just beside our ethnic national identity, being a Chinese, being a Muslim, being Arab, but we add additional layer, which is a global side. That's the beauty of this soft power from global south.
But thinking of the barriers here, governments, for example, notice the importance of the soft power, and that's why we find more and more of national budgets. Some countries are investing in billions as well in soft power, enhancing their soft power to the rest of the world. But definitely there are barriers, because thinking of the structure of the global south itself, we are very diverse. People in China or in East Asia, they are different from people in the Arab world, and people in the Arab world are different from people in Latin America. So definitely there are barriers of accepting the others' culture, education, language. What do you think?
Yeah, there is. First of all, if you want your make now we are living a globalization culture era. So you always the either consumers or the buyers or the industry, they have to come out creative, new, innovative ideas, entertainment programs. Now I think global south, the resources and repertoire of the global South cultures, the soft power haven't been really tapped. So we need to, like, just purely from like a, more like an entertainment culture industry perspective, this global South is so much rich. They need to be tapped and bring into the global attention to China, to India, to the West, for them to, let's see, first to consume, right? Consume
Yes.
this culture, but also through this consumption, they slowly get understanding and appreciation of those global South countries. Definitely, it is happening. Yeah.
Interesting. Thinking of the language here and the language diplomacy, given the diversity and the uniqueness of the different languages from the global south that are somehow going global, such as, Mandarin. But still, we are speaking English at the end of the day in our daily conversation, even within the global south. So, like, how do you view the strength of the different languages emerging from the global south to the rest of the world to be one day in the future the global language, replacing English?
Yeah, that will be because see, yeah, we know global South has rich in language, in culture, many things, and their language is as beautiful as English and as any other languages. But globalization and in this 21st century, people also pursue this kind of how can I say efficiency,
Yes.
easiness. So if people are already like adopt the English, being a customer, being easy to communicate, so to bring a new language, either like Mandarin or other language. By the way, Mandarin is a very difficult language.
It is.
It is a hard one. So it's not because they are not good language. It's just because of, people already used to one type of a simple communication language like English. So that's, I think it will take longer time. It's not, we wouldn't romanticize, one day some of global South language will become a dominant or replace English. That won't happen that fast. My personal, I think, it's just because of, the people are used to like using the simple and existing custom language to communicate. Yeah.
Do you think the language diplomacy might push government in the global south and countries for more of a political alignment here? Walking in Dubai Boulevard, for example, or Dubai Mall, you will notice all signs having like English, Arabic, and Mandarin. So would this lead to more of like synergies and melt between countries and governments as well?
Yes, it is. It first shows a country's strategic choice
Yes.
by bringing another country's language for its own like commercial or like part of the national curriculum, as UAE, Saudi, and they did. So it is strategic, at least culture strategic or culture partnership. We don't see it's really alliances, but at least culture partnership or language partnerships. It's very deep and very solid. Secondly, it's kind of also help business. It's help business to attract more tourists, attract more buyers. So it's win-win, and also it's kind of facilitate the tourists, Chinese tourists, when they come to Dubai, they feel at home. Okay, they know the language. They don't have to they're going to get lost. So I think it's this kind of language diplomacy is. It's really a smart move, to not only just showing the countries the culture partnership, but also help business to integrate and to grow together.
Another aspect of soft power here is the religion diplomacy. So having more and more aspirations, based on the faith of other countries, of other religions as well, in the global south would increase the tolerance here. But what strategies are needed as well to have this new thinking of accepting everyone's religion, but in your area at the end of the day?
See, we are now in the UAE. UAE provide a very good example of promoting tolerance and coexistence and promote faith-based diplomacy, trying to be reconciliate and mediating different religious sects. And so UAE did a lot, and of course other countries also did the similar things. So you see how religion play a positive role in diplomacy, in bring people together, even as long as they have this idea of tolerant each other, and idea of accepting, respecting others' religion. unfortunately, still there are some regions or some sections in this world. This idea are not that appreciated,
Internalized.
actualized. Still, there's people had conflict because of the religious differences, sectarian differences. So I think what UAE doing is need to be more country to follow and need to promote more and to teach or to allow others to see the positive example UAE has set in their own country, like we live here harmoniously here. Here, like we have 200 nationalities and all the major religions and minor religions too, all presented in the UAE. But we never, seldom we hear that, there's a conflict or, the big fight because of the religious differences. So I think this many times in the world, is including, unfortunately, in global south countries, religious differences, sectarian differences was exploited by politicians, by military, by people of EO mandate. They utilize this. So this need to be worked out to make religions more like a soft power, like a positive driving force instead of become like a scapegoat of some of conflict or wars.
True, or creating maybe some cleavages here.
Yes, infamously, yeah.
Another aspect also of soft power is tourism. As you know, many countries right now, such as Indonesia, Morocco, for example, they are spending a lot to enhance their international image through tourism, so tourism diplomacy. Do you think that tourism will have like a great impact in terms of enhancing our image to the rest of the world?
Yeah, definitely. See, people come to see, to feel, to experience a country, a place. That's why they grow good perception, good impression of that country or place. By attracting tourists to a country, definitely will promote the image and bring the better understanding of a country for others. Now, unfortunately, these days, like some media are a bit biased or like not current. So they all, whenever they, for example, especially when they are reporting global south countries, they only couple war, conflict, poverty,
Yes.
and right. So we need to open the tourism for them to come to see. This is not what the media portrayed. It's beautiful. It has good facilities, and people are nice. They are not savages, right? So these things need to only when people come and they experience, they interact, and they grow a good impression. I have many experience of whenever the Chinese visit Dubai, they visit Sheikh Zayed Mosque. They told me like. We never thought a Muslim country or Arab country can be this developed. I mean, this modern. So I said, okay, this is what the media tells you. So you can feel how this misunderstanding, gap is existing. So this can only be narrowed or be made up by tourism. I appreciate many countries in the global south. They are doing promoting their tourism. They should. Yeah.
But I mean, thinking also of the other side of tourism here, as you said, I mean, Chinese people are visiting the United Arab Emirates and they are impressed by the level of the heritage here, heritage reservation, and at the same time, modernity. I mean, traveling to other countries for this person, maybe traveling to another country, he or she might have also a bad perception in another country, and so there will be some of the mixed feelings here. So how can we tackle this? Maybe introduce new ideas, change the mentality of the people that we have to accept also the level of modernity, the different experiences that we can experience in the global south. Because not I mean, all countries in the global south are modern
right,
and has a very good infrastructure.
So in this case, see, there are strategies. Let's see. So some countries, if your facilities or the modernization is not that yet, so you can develop a kind of alternative, new kind of creative tourism. For example, you can do like ecotourism, so featuring your preserving of nature, or you can do ethnic tourism, featuring your diverse cultures, traditions, and you can do the like adventurous tourism, So this all kinds of things you can attract different type of tourists, and you can best use of your unique advantage of your country. Not every country has to be like Dubai or UAE to like build like a luxurious hotels.
Yes.
No, that would be like if ever do that, that would be boring. You go everywhere is the same. Why not? Why doing that? So better each country develop their own brand, their own advantage of their own selling point of their tourism, instead of all doing the similar things. Of course, basic things. Let's see, road, air travel, all these things should be like improved. That's why I think countries like China and Turkey, they are pioneering, and in UAE too, and they have industrial capacities. They are investing in improving the infrastructures in those global south countries. This is what we call South-South cooperation, right? So by doing so, they help that country to attract more tourists and that country to attract investment, and they also get their returns. So it's a kind of win-win cooperation. Yeah.
Another attractive asset here in the soft power is sport diplomacy. I mean, hosting the World Cup in Qatar or the Olympics in Brazil, it has did sort of like a reset of the global narrative from the global south when it comes to sport diplomacy and the readiness of these countries in the global south to host such big events. But I mean, thinking of the national identity, to what extent you find that sport diplomacy may boost diplomatic imaging and the perception of these countries and enhancing their national identity to the rest of the world?
It did. Right? The examples just mentioned, I think they all made the citizen of that hosting country proud. I think the Qatar World Cup made all Qataris so proud, as such a small country in size, but they were able to project the big soft power globally. And they made like a very solid stamp on the history of world football. Similarly, you can say about other countries, like they hosted the great event. So first of all, in terms of identity, they boost identity. They make them proud of their citizens, right? And also, they were successful in boosting or improving the image of that country by showing us how efficiency, how organized, how they can handle such a sophisticated, big mega event like the game, the football game or different kind of games. So I encourage, and also many global south countries are doing that by hosting the mega event or sports, big sports games to strengthen their national identity, improving their national image, and also boosting the tourism and the economy. So by bringing tourists in, by featuring their product, their local produce to the world, and make them better known, for the world. So it is a very good investment. Global South countries should focus on to promoting their soft power.
But Qatar has been criticized of, doing all of this influence and impact, but it was a little bit limited, to the event itself. Do you think that Qatar can boost the impact to have more of a long-term influence in this
They
regard?
should, yeah.
Same
They
goes, for Brazil and other countries in the global south.
They should do something what I call the post-event or post-game economy, right? After the game, you should there's
Sustain.
follow-up, sustain, and you should turn those facilities for more other business or entertainment hubs. Make use of them basically, and they grow like a legacy tourism. Like let people come back to see. I think Dubai did a successful after they host Dubai Expo 2020. They makes use of those facilities by hosting a lot of conferences, and I got invites a lot of times. All the locations will be in that area, so they still hosting the big events, and they also allow some private actors or some companies to come in to run some of the national pavilions, and those companies actually bring more activities and business showcasing, and it's so basically you are keeping those event impact there sustainable or continuing legacy.
Long term.
Qatar should do more to make their impact lasting. Instead of you host the game and people forget about you. That's not the desirable one.
Speaking of the South-South cooperation here, we have many forums, regional forums within the Global South, the China-Afro Forum, or let's say the cooperation forums between the Arab world and the African world. So, do you think that these forums are bringing much, or they are more of like a slogan politics? High-level figures are coming to meet, coming up with a statement at the end of the event, and then nothing happening. So, do you think that there is a real benefit for the Global South to do more of a South-South cooperation through forums?
See, forums, as the name indicate, is a place where people express their desires, their opinions, their stance, their perspectives, and then exchange views, and to see if they can reach a consensus and further agreement or action plan. So this is where forum is very necessary, because see, Global South is a very very diverse group of countries. Even you just think China Arab States forum, like China Africans forum, each side, there's diverse countries, and they might have diverse interests and diverse perspectives. So you need them to speak out and to see what can be agreed and what cannot be agreed, and they can work on. So that's number one. It's useful. Secondly, in Global South, the country's development and the cooperation need political will, very strong leadership support. So by hosting this high level political forums and discussions, exchange, you are able to mobilize, support, and you can show the strong will from the leadership from both sides, from China side and from African side or Arab side, to see they're willing to focus on some development and some of South-South cooperation. So yes, this forum, they tend to speak a lot, but they did show the place for people to exchange views and to reach consensus and to show the strong will. And then the rest is for the specific sectors, for industries, for business to work on the specifics. But if you have this cover, umbrella, political support, that's very crucial.
But can we rely on them in the Global South at least to achieve a multilateral impact here for the rest of the world?
Yeah, this need to be worked out some kind of, first of all, this kind of forum or mechanism, like a BRICS or SCO, Shanghai Cooperation thing.
Or OIC, for example.
Yeah, so these things, forums or organizations mechanism is necessary, like to coordinate, to convene. But that's not enough, as I said. So for Global South, it's much more bigger. And so I think it's time to call for Global South kind of coordination mechanism on top of those already existing ones. So those are like kind of more like a regional or some like a more cooperation focused mechanism. But for Global South, we need a bigger, more like inclusive, diverse platforms to ask. UN already had one, but if Global South has their own platform or not like at least mechanism, they can exchange. That would be very useful to actualize all this, proposals, ideas, make them more like realize them. Yeah.
This could be applicable for the peacetime. What about the hard times, wars, crises? We've been through COVID-19. A few years ago, India's aid program was getting praise of the development and the support that the rest of the world, especially in the Global South and the surrounding of India, gained out of this program. So can we rely on soft power in such time? At least to do simple crisis management here.
Global South countries already they are using their own way of solving their
issues
among them or between them. And for example, in Africa, we've seen some like a conflict partner of the civil wars, or they are using the traditional tribal way of like arbitration of solving the problem. It's contributing to the peace process, and many of localized practice of conflict resolution, prevention, medical aid, economic development are there. Just the media or the scholarship did not really report or study them that much. So I'm sure Global South has a lot of things to contribute for the things you mentioned, and just we need maybe like scale up them, make them more like applicable to more regions, and to make them institutionalized a little bit if we can. Yeah.
What about a humanitarian assistance here? I mean, can we rely on a compassionate model from the Global South, not only to support countries in the Global South, I mean neighbors, but also the rest of the world?
We can. See, first of all, we have this solidarity from Global South. Global South, they all being Global South, being like oppressed, being colonized in the past, being disadvantages in the South. So there's this thing. So they have a solidarity to help each other, humanitarianly or economically. Second, there are some countries already playing a leading role, like UAE. UAE's foreign aid is, I think, per capita is the largest in the world.
Yes,
like you have small population, but you have large donations, right? So countries like UAE, they have already shown how Global South countries can use humanitarian assistance and using compassion to help each other to for relief, for development, for for sustainable growth, like technology transfer, all these things. And also China also played a role in Africa by building schools and infrastructures and training the local teachers. So all these are successful models of Global South helping each other to sustain and to grow.
But do you think sometimes, especially during crisis, we have Gaza war, for example, here in the Global South. Do you think that the soft power should be also combined with hard power? Or at least doing what's called the smart power in this, in this context?
That's many people's... soft power should be used smartly to have impact, to have effect. In that case, yes, if necessary, soft power backed by the hard power, without using hard power, but backed by hard power, that could be more effective than just purely using soft power.
Yes.
Right? That's maybe that at that point soft power turn into smart power, but. Even sometimes soft power alone, or soft power combined with international solidarity, international condemnation of certain type of atrocities done by certain states, or soft power combined with international legal framework, to put pressure on certain countries, or certain soft power combined with global media, especially now we have new media. TikTok, not just corporate media controlled by some capitalist states, but new media, controlled
social media.
Social media, but by people, for people. So this, if you combine your soft power with this call for action, call for support, it also can have impact. I think it is promising.
For the social media, if we touch upon it a little bit, do you think these stories that are told from the Global South are changing global narrative? Or not yet?
It is changing.
In what terms?
In the past, corporate media from capitalist state, big like dominant media, they control the narrative, But now because of social media tools, everybody can be a media. And they post real world stories, experience, first-hand experience, and which the traditional corporate media, they cannot cover, or they cannot just ignore. By this, I think Global South or the oppressed voices were expressed, and it's changing the narrative. I think very obvious is like Gaza situation in the West. Because all the traditional media, they found that the young people, new generation, they're getting news, getting perspective from TikTok, from YouTube, from all these things. They realize, okay, they cannot control the narrative. The narrative is reflecting the real one, the truth.
Do you think the social media sometimes create competing narratives? I mean, in the global south?
Not just only in global south, everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called like fake news or the misinformation, disinformation. It is happening, and let alone now we have AI. AI is produced
Yeah.
much more deep fake things. It's just so looks so real. It is challenge. It is challenge for both global north and global south. I think as long as global south countries and stick to the truthfulness, stick to their own authentic experience, their own authentic values and culture, their soft power still will persist and influence through social media. There will be disruption by the
For
fake
sure.
things, but it won't affect that much.
Ending this conversation with your maybe thoughts on the future of soft power within the global south. So, how do you view the strength and the leverage we will be working on when it comes to soft power in the global south?
In
Is
the
it
few,
promising?
it is promise, as I said. It is promise because the world need it. We are kind of bored or fed up with like one or a few single narratives, single version of soft power, a single version of telling the story this way or that way. So we need diverse voices, and diversity and the pluralism is reality of the nature, reality of the world. So it should be reflected this way. Thankfully, now because of technology, because of knowledge accumulation, because of all this, people were able to appreciate and discover, tap, even promote, and even in the future, I see the global film industry, culture industry will make use of global South cultures and traditions to promote them, make them more influential. And we will see how global South values from their own traditional, like villages, tribes, and the communities were able to contribute their way for global narrative and global discourse. And in this way, they contribute this through really soft way, not backed
Yes.
by necessarily hard power or that power. They just contribute the soft way. So this complement or the really authenticate the concept of soft power by bringing global south.
Hopefully in the future, in the near future. Dr. Chai, thank you so much for joining us today. I enjoyed the discussion with you on the soft power of the global south.
Thank you for having me.
For more conversations, stay with us and follow, subscribe, and definitely join upcoming episodes of the Global Southing podcast. Until next time, thank you so much.
You've been listening to Global Southing Podcast.